everybody and welcome back. I'm really excited to be here to finally be able to show you my October sewing. It's a little later than I had hoped, but so many things have been going on. We had visitors staying and I've had a week where Luke, my little boy, has just not been napping, so I haven't really had a chance to do any filming. So he's napping at the moment and I really hope I get a chance to do this. There's so much to get through, but I really hope that I can do it before he wakes up. So anyway, let's kick off straight away with my stripy molly top from the Sew Over It Capsule Wardrobe City Break ebook. That is a mouthful. Anyway, I've got my notes in front of me, which I don't know if it's in shot or not. So if I'm looking down, that's what I'm doing. Anyway, but I love this top so much. It is so me. And I was about to say I've worn it loads. I haven't worn it loads. You know why? Because I've been keeping all my sewing nice and pristine for this video, which is ridiculous. But I was just scared that Luke would maybe get dirty fingers on it and I wouldn't be able to get it washed out or whatever, you know. I'm sure you understand. Anyway, so but I love it anyway. I took meticulous care in lining up the stripes here, and I think I did a pretty good job, so I'm quite happy about that. And on this side as well, you can see the sort of chevron effect that it creates. I saw Lisa's version had that and I was like, oh, I really want to make sure mine's like that because my fabric's really similar to one of the versions she made. The other thing that I liked about hers was she'd managed to get a little blue stripe along the very edge of her neckline, and I managed to do that as well, so I'm so pleased about that. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I did it pretty much all on the overlocker apart from a twin needle for top stitching here and the hem and hem of the sleeves as well. What else is there? It's just so easy to make. This fabric is quite slinky jersey, so it was, the hardest bit really was pinning it all together, making sure the lines were matching, and you know, and that's it. So, whereas the sewing was pretty straightforward. It's such a quick make to do. So I'm sure I'll be making loads more. As you've probably seen in my November plans, I want to make the dress version of this top out of a black and white stripe. So I haven't started yet, but hopefully I'll get it done. I don't know, I'm really far. I haven't done any sewing yet in November, but you know, it's still early days, sort of. And here is my next make. It is my silk Ogden Cami. And I love it so much. I'm just so over the moon with this. I actually wore this out for my birthday dinner with my husband and it was just, felt really special wearing it. It's such beautiful fabric. It's very slinky, so you know that was a little bit tricky to work with, but it was fine. I didn't use any stabilizers or anything like that at all. I was still able to cope with it. My previous Ogdens, I've actually, I didn't do the, like a loop for the straps here. I just folded it over and then top stitched on top because it was easier, and the fabric I was using was fraying loads. This time I decided to try and do it, you know, where you pull it through, and managed to do it, so happy enough with that. The other thing I had said in my previous makes of this top was that I couldn't work out what was the front and what was the back. So this time I have used a very strange method, but it works for me. I have two little sailing boats on this sleeve, and there's not really any sailing boats on the back, not sleeve, strap. There's not really any boats on the back straps. So I know that therefore that's the front, so that works for me and it's fine. And what else? Okay, the only other thing that I did for the first time, I know you may, many of you may be like aghast, like you're only trying this out for the first time now after how many years sewing. I finally purchased a rolled hem or narrow hem foot for my sewing machine and used it on this, and oh, it's a little tricky to get the hang of, but once you do, oh my goodness, teeniest, tiniest, neatest little hems ever. And I think if you watch my seamstress tag video, you'll know that my least favourite job in sewing is hemming. I don't know why, I just hate it for so many reasons. I can hem by hand, that's not a problem at all. On the machine, for some reason, I hate it. So this, I can't really show you, but I've got a picture on Instagram. No, I don't have a picture on Instagram. I had a video, but it's gone. It was on stories. Anyway, I will try and show a close-up of the little rolled hem for you to see. Now there is a bit of fraying where the edge is not fully tucked in, but in general it's overall really happy with how it's done. It probably needs a little bit more practice, but I'm okay with that. That'll be good. In general, really love this. No wait, just remembered one big problem, which you guys have probably been thinking the whole time you've been watching this video. I obviously used the same fabric to do the half lining or deep facing that this top has, not really thinking anything about it until I put it on and I realised, oh, yeah, this fabric is slightly sheer. So it is a bit of an annoyance. Maybe you can see there. You can see the sailing boats that are on the facing showing through to the outside. So I was a little bit bummed about that when I realised, but to be honest, I don't really care that much. I'm still going to wear it loads and I still really love it. But it is something, it's a mental note for the next time I make this top, because I am going to be making it again. I've already said in November makes I'm going to be making it again. If the fabric is sheer, maybe use a different facing, or maybe bias binding the top. I don't really like that look. Oh man, he's awake. Anyway, on to the next make. Hi, I'm back with a little friend. He woke up from his nap, so I'm gonna see how much of this I can film before he goes crazy. Wow, that's a very emo hairstyle. And his hair's getting really long. Oh, okay, this might not work. Anyway, let's go. So here's my next make. I don't know if you can see it very well. It is my cat print jersey fabric. So I decided, can't remember if I said in my planning video that I didn't know exactly what I was going to do with this top, because this is a beige colour and I don't suit beige at all. So what I decided to do was I hacked the plantain pattern. You know I love the plantain pattern. So the base and the sleeves are plantain, but then I just cut it just underneath the arm side and added a seam allowance on each piece, and then decided, you know, this part would be black, and then I have sort of hacked, when I say hacked I mean literally hacked, a boat neck t-shirt neckline, but I'm not really, I did it so quickly, and it's not good. I haven't sewn it properly. Lesson, I've literally just sewn it down with a twin needle, and I've learned you cannot pivot with a twin needle. I mean, that's a pretty obvious thing, but I just didn't think about it when I was sewing, and so it is such a mess. But I think I'm gonna go back and sort it out, but I was trying to get it done for Halloween because for some reason, like a spur of the moment, I decided I wanted to make a little matching outfit for Lukey and myself, because I had enough of this fabric left over and enough of this black, and I made him a little matching top, and so I'm not gonna put him on him now because it's just too much for me right now. But I'll put a little photograph here so you can see the two of us, and then a really cute one of Lukey on his own, really working his magic. I made cute little hat for him that looked like little ears as well, and I also made the leggings for him, and I literally was sewing this up on the Sunday before Halloween was the Monday. I was sewing it on Sunday while he was napping, while also packing to go to my mum and dad's. And my husband was away on a little holiday, so it was really hectic, and my machine stopped working while I was hemming. The very last thing I had to do was hem this t-shirt, so you'll see in the cutaways that the back of the hem is not done yet, and since Halloween I have not had a single second to get back to the machine to try and finish it. So I will, but I just wanted to include it in this video now anyway, just because, you know, otherwise it'd be really annoying. So there you go. I am actually really pleased with that. I really love it, and once I get the hem finished and the neckline done, it's definitely going to be one of my favourites, so I'm really, really happy about that. So on to my next one. Okay, so here's my next make. Hopefully he's still gonna sit nicely for me. He's doing well. I am leaving the dummy in his mouth because that does keep him calm. I don't do that very often, but sometimes needs must. So anyway, here's my pink waterfall cardigan. Now, it's not the Megan Nielsen tutorial that I said I was going to do. I decided to do something simpler that used less fabric. And I used the Grain Lines tutorial to hack a normal t-shirt into a waterfall cardigan. So I didn't use her own t-shirt pattern, I used a plantain. I should be sponsored by Free Patterns R Us. Anyway, so sleeves and the back are not changed whatsoever. The front is made into two, and it's basically just a really long rectangle with a bit of a curve here. So there's no, is that cozy? Yeah, that's really soft, really soft. Yeah, it is really, really soft actually. So really, really easy to make. Hardest thing about it was cutting out the fabric. This fabric is crazy. I have washed this fabric 3 times before I even cut it, because each time I washed it and then I set it aside, maybe it got hung over something. It's that type of fabric that molds into the shape of whatever if you're hanging over a hook, don't do it, because you have this big bump over in the middle of your fabric. So I tried to iron out the bump, you can't. Had to wash it again. And like even just whatever way you dry it, you have to just be so careful that it's not a part of it leaning over something, it misforms. Another thing was it just makes weird marks. I had it all laid out on the floor and I walked on it and there were like footprint, like marks in it. Like the fabric changed to a lighter colour. I just don't even understand. So I washed it again. Finally got around to it. I cut it on a single layer just because it would just be so much easier. I'll insert a photograph of my planning it all out. You'll see that there's also other things being, something else being cut out of the fabric, and that was one of the reasons why I decided to do this instead, was because I had 2 meters of fabric and I thought, let's try and make the most out of the fabric that I possibly can. So I had, again, it's a bit of a botch job, but to be honest, only for someone that sews. If they look up closely at it, they'll be like, what are you doing? But anyone else, like my friend saw me wearing it, she said, oh, that's a really good, you know, she was all over it. She said it was absolutely beautiful and she couldn't believe that I'd made it. But you know, like it's so simple. For anyone that knows how to sew, it's such a simple design. So anyway, I literally just turned over the edges the whole way around and used my my twin needle to sew the whole thing. And again, this is actually when I discovered that once you get to a corner, you can't pivot. That was what I was planning on doing. And you can't do it. No, I know, Lucky, you can't do it. Yeah, what do you think? Okay, so I literally just had to go to the end and then, you know, backstitch a wee bit and then start again. So it's a bit messy looking there. Also, I really need to go in and like trim off the fabric on the, you know, the inside. It's a bit, again, it's a bit messy. So I need to do that. And the other thing is, if you don't like hemming, this is not great because it's all the way around, all the way around, all the way around. I went on forever and ever and ever and ever. I thought it was never gonna end. Anyway, it did. I'm really happy with it. Two things I learnt, well, apart from the pivoting. So the three things I learnt: can't pivot, the twin needle. Second thing is, naughty me, really, really drapey fabric. I should have stabilized this shoulder, and I didn't, so I'm really quite annoyed about that. I just didn't think about it at all, so I don't know, maybe I'll go back in and do something there. If anyone has any suggestions, please let me know, because I know it's going to stretch beyond belief. I think it already has, and I've hardly worn it at all. And the third thing I've learnt is change the colour of your overlocker thread. Now, I'm quite sure I've said this in a video of some sort. I am really lazy, and I've never ever changed the thread on my overlocker, because I had read somewhere that if you use light grey, it blends in with most of what you're making, and therefore you don't have to. And me being lazy and cheap, because like 4 giant cones is expensive, and again lazy because changing it is a big faff. It's not hard, I don't mind changing it, it's just can't be bothered, so just lazy. Where was I? Oh my god, I went off on such a big tangent there. Yes, so and in general the light grey thread has been brilliant up until this point, but with an open top, I mean, you know, that's just not nice, especially here. So that's a shame that I didn't take the time to change that to maybe a bright pink. The other time that I realised that with my sewing this week, or this in October, was with my cat top that I just showed you. I meant to mention that before. I didn't have the tension perfect for that particular fabric, so the seams pull apart ever so slightly, and because again using light grey with the black, it's not good. It's really not a good look. I've even thought about going in with a black Sharpie and colouring it in, because it's not good. So, but you know what, you live and you learn. So I have that Molly dress that I want to make, and also the black plantain just basic top. Definitely putting black thread in my overlocker to make those, 100%. But you know what, that's what it's all about. It's all about trial and error and learning as you go. Uh-oh, he's getting fed up now. Okay, so that was everything that I had said I was going to make in my October planning video, but I actually squeezed in 2 more makes this month. I don't know how I managed to do that, especially when you see one of the things that I've made, but I will go ahead and get changed and show you the first one. Okay, and I'm back. So this is the other thing that I decided to squeeze out of my 2 meters of pink jersey. I loved it so much, I thought I want to get as much use out of it as possible, so I made another Molly top. And I really love it. When I first finished it, I thought, I don't know, just a plain pink top, that's so boring. But once I got it styled up and I wore it with a few other things, and I wore a really bright pink lipstick with it, I really did like it, and it is so soft. This fabric is just really lush that way. So anyway, talking about the sewing, it's really lush to wear, it's not lush to pin and cut out. As I said with the Waterfall cardigan, I cut it on a single layer to try and get all the pieces on, to make sure I can make it all fit. Geez, it was hard work, and hard to cut out, and then hard to keep it all together when I was sewing it. So that was hard. I knew it was going to be, and it was, but I made it and it's fine. Now, issues when I was attaching the neckline at the back on the overlocker, at the very end I didn't catch about an inch worth of the actual top part to the thing. scream. But anyway, and I was not gonna unpick the whole thing, no way. Thankfully it was at the back, so I decided that with my top stitching I would just secure it down and, you know, sort of seal the hole that way, which I've done. And I mean, I had to do a little bit of extra top stitching in that area, so, you know, if I'm wearing my hair up in a ponytail or something, you would see it. But you know what, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, it's fine. But that's it, you know, it was part of the deal with working with this really slinky jersey, definitely. I did say after I made this, I'm never working with this type of jersey ever again. It's so stressful. I'm still in that area, we'll see. If I come on with another My Plans and I've got a nice slinky jersey, please remind me, remind me of this. Anyway, what else can I say? That's it really. It was easy to make because, as I said, with my blue molly top, it's just a nice quick make. And I love it. Yes, that's it. Because of this fabric, the neckline of this top doesn't always lie perfectly. It's got a little wrinkle in it, so that's a bit annoying. It's like I've stretched it out, but I really didn't think I had. But I think that's me being pedantic. I think it's fine. And again, I didn't do a really fantastic job of the hem curve. It was really quite hard to do that, so that was a bit of a bummer. For some reason I was able to do it perfectly with the blue and white stripe one, but this one not as much. Yes, how you doing? You okay? Oh, you getting fed up? Is it time for lunch? Oh, you giving hugs? With a kiss. Kiss for mama? No kisses. Kisses? No! Oh my, I've never been refused a kiss. This is serious. Okay, right, my final one. I'm not going to get changed because you're not going to see it with me sitting down. You can watch the cutaways. It is an Errand skirt from the Sew Over It Capsule ebook. Ta-da! That's not it in the centre. There we go. Oh, sorry, pet. I should button up all the buttons. I just decided I really wanted to make this ASAP. I'd seen a few versions popping up on Instagram and I was like, yes, I love this skirt. I want this skirt. I'd ordered this fabric off of the Sew Over It website actually, and it's a really lovely like cross hatch designed dark indigo denim, so I really love it. I was so excited when it arrived. The only problem was that it does say in the pattern don't use a fabric with stretch, and when I ordered this I don't think the description said it had stretch, so I assumed it didn't have any stretch in it. Maybe I should have got a swatch or checked it, but this fabric does have stretch in it. And when I cut out my pattern and I sewed it up, it was way too big for me. It was massive and I had to take in at least an inch on either side, more around my hips. I am a weird shape. I'm like pear shaped, but it's not a nice curve like this. It's like, I don't know, I have like straight hips. It's not great, but anyway, so it's really awkward for fitting, but especially when you're doing it on your own, so it was a bit awkward trying to get, and then I'd have like little pokey bits where I thought, oh, I've curved that nicely, no, I hadn't curved, and I had to go back in and cut a little bit off again, trim a bit off again, and I was starting to worry that I would lose the size of the pocket and I wouldn't be able to put my hand in, but thankfully it's like literally just the right size for my hand. He's being so good, but he's starting to get a bit fed up. Top stitching wise, I've never done top stitching before either, so this was new for me. So I decided to just play safe and I bought a dark navy top stitching thread. Bought my top stitching needle, was pretty scared doing it to start with, but oh my goodness, so impressed with my top stitching, even if I say so myself. It's really neat. So I'm really happy about that. When I was cutting it out, I am like this with all of my fabric. I'm sure everyone else is as well. I try and squeeze into as little fabric as possible to sort of save fabric, but then it's sort of like, well, if I'm only going to be left with this tiny little piece, is there any point? But I figured that if I didn't cut the facing of the pocket out of the actual fabric and use a different fabric, I would probably have enough to make a mini version of the Errand skirt in the same fabric, and I love this fabric, so that's what I want to, I have enough of that to do. So because of that, I've made the lining out of this really lovely red and white striped sort of, I think it's like curtain fabric from IKEA, or cushion fabric, home decor anyway. But I just thought that's really cute little pop anyway, really nice. And then the other thing, yes mister, I know, you're getting fed up. Nearly done, we're nearly done. So then I also had to decide what buttons to use, and I kind of had to do this online, which is difficult when you can't really see the buttons and hold them up next to your actual half-made skirt or just the fabric, just to get an idea. So I really was a bit nervous about ordering them. I went for these. I'll try and do a close-up for you. It's sort of like a floral motif, a design. They're really flat. I didn't realize they were going to be so flat for like a silver color. I didn't know whether to go for a silver color or a brass color, make it look more jeansy. I honestly didn't know. But I actually really love them. They're really nice, and I got them from Minerva Crafts online. And yeah, happy with that. So, the only thing that made me really sad about this skirt is, even though I read it and reread it and told myself a million times the right way to do it, I sewed my buttonholes all the wrong direction. Yeah, I did. So, you're told in the instructions, like, they make a point of telling you, so that you get it right, that you have to sew them vertically along here, and then the top button is horizontal. I did it the other way around. I did all of these horizontal and this top one vertical. I mean, seriously, I don't know, I killed myself when I realized, like, I did the whole thing before I realized. I hadn't cut the holes through the buttonholes yet, and I was like, shall I unpick all of those buttonholes and do them properly? And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. It's just going to have to work. It's just going to have to work. And I think it does, actually. Thank the Lord, because I would have been so upset if it hadn't have worked. I think, you know, it maybe it has a bit more give around the waist than it is supposed to, because of that. So next time I make it, if I make that mini skirt version, I'll definitely be really aware of the direction that I'm sewing those buttonholes in. But generally I'm okay. I have a question for you. I actually wanted to have wooden buttons on this. I thought would be really nice, but I was worried that you can't, about washing wooden buttons. So if anyone has used wooden buttons before, and how has it been in the washing machine? Have you washed them multiple times? Are they fine? Do they crack? Do they break? I'd really love to know, because I do really love the look of wooden buttons. Hi, I'm back. And the lighting's different, the setup's different. I don't have a child with me at the moment, because it all went pear-shaped after that last clip that you saw. My battery died, and also Luke was having no more of it, so that was the end of that option. So I'm doing this in the evening. It's really not the best lighting at all, but I really want to get the video up, so I just want to hurry up and finish up. I've also looked back at everything I had filmed, or bits of everything I'd filmed, and I've been progressively talking faster and faster, probably, you know, stressing about getting everything done before Luke kicked off. So I'm really sorry about that. I started off really quiet and like a little mouse, because he's napping, and then he wakes up and I'm like talking at a ridiculous speed. So I'm still learning how to do this whole vlogging business. As you know, you're probably noticing every position I'm filming in is different because I'm trying to find the best location. And at the moment I haven't. So I'm still trying to figure that out. Anyway. So that's it for my October sewing video. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe, and please leave a comment below if you've got any thoughts or suggestions on the video, and hopefully see you again soon. Bye! Hi everyone, hi, welcome back. I'm finally getting around to filming my October sewing video. Why do I mess it up every time? Okay. Let's see, what else is there? La 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 la. Okay, I have two let's start again. Right. You did really good. Yeah? You a good boy? Yeah, you're a good boy. Most of the time.